Good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. Happy Wednesday. We are working on our soul series this week and talking about things like transformation and today transmutation. I just do want to remind you, though, that on September 19th, I'm so happy to be at the Hilton Garden Inn, which is in the Phoenix Tempe University Research Park, which is on Price Road in Tempe. We will be there from 2 until 4 doing life after life demonstrations. If you've never been to one of these, please do attend. Tickets are on the website. We have an amazing time of spiritual connections. Things happen that are, even when I do it, it blows my own mind. It's awesome. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for that, please do so. So spiritual transmutation or alchemizing one's spirit is what we're going to talk about today. And it's a little bit more than the transformation part of what we talked about yesterday. Transformation leads to transmutation, or moving ourselves into the essence of the truth of who we are, our spirit, our soul, and the partnership that we have with the all that is, meaning that we are little drops in the ocean of life and that God is the ocean. So how do we do that? How do we start freeing ourselves from the core ego issues that all of us have? And that's what we're going to try to put into a nutshell this morning, although, my goodness, it could be a whole long series, hour-long classes for 6 hours. But I'm going to try to do the best I can to give it to you in a nutshell. Number one is something called calcination. By the way, this is from Mateo Saul, S-O-O-L, Mateo, M-A-T-E-O. So I just want to tell you where I got some of the information from. So calcination is a breaking down of parts of self. It's one of the reasons as a hypnotherapist that I am always pushing people to work through their karmic profile, meaning try to figure out how your ego was built. Your ego is built by something that your soul chose when you had your pre-life planning conference, when you chose the circumstances and the events of your life cycle on the earth plane. That would include parents and siblings, generational patterns that go all the way up, grandparents and so on, and figuring out what kind of messages were placed in your subconscious mind as a kid. And that's about breaking parts of self down so that you can reframe some of the ways that children take on responsibilities for other people's nonsense and make it about themselves, because that's what kids do, and then create an identity out of that. So we have to do some breaking down in order to alchemize our spirit and to transmute what's going on for us as we do that. Then number 2 is dissolution, and that means that after we have done that, there is less of an identification with the false self, remembering that the ego is the false self. It is created by the dynamics of what we're told as children, okay? So there's part of that. Then there's a separation, and that's when we start to isolate the thoughts that come from the ego. The first time you think, oh, I can't do that because I'm too whatever. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too dumb, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too blah, blah, blah. All of those things that we tell ourselves that are not true. They are things that we have gotten somewhere along the lines during the course of our upbringing and given ourselves that kind of a message system. So we have to separate our ego thoughts from exactly what our spirit is thinking. And remember, our spirit is huge and powerful and magnificent and beautiful and beyond measure. And as soon as we associate with that, there's not a thing we can't do. And then there's something called conjunction, which is a partnership of your inner space with your outer space. And that means that you are now part of that what we called yesterday Christ consciousness, but if you're a Buddhist, it could be Buddha consciousness. If you practice Islam, it could be a consciousness that is in partnership with Allah. Whatever way you want to describe it matters not, because it's all one big thing that we all have part of. So we have to identify with that inner space in partnership with the outer parts of ourselves. Then there's a fermentation process, which is kind of that rebirthing where we distill our daily living to a place of inner peace, that no matter what happens, we're able to handle it in a way that makes sense with calm and peacefulness, walking forward, knowing that it's part of a divine plan, and trusting that our spirit is catching us in partnership with the Holy Spirit. Then there's a coagulation, and that's where you're not a slave to your ego anymore. So those are the 7 stages of alchemizing or transmuting what you're doing with your spirit. So, how do we do this? Okay, there are 12 steps for transmutation. Let's talk about them. You know, I'm always a broken record when it comes to meditation, and this is number 1 on the 12 steps to transmutation. It's so easy and so simple to do that people just don't do it. They just don't take time to meditate every day, and they just think it's too easy to make a difference. And that is unfortunate, because Spirit believes it's a keep it simple, stupid world. And the KISS principle is exactly what helps us transmute and transform ourselves into being true spiritual beings without, judgment and without condemnation and things that are so contrary to our spirit. Whether we do it in the name of God or not, it's still contrary to God. So meditation regularly, for 20 minutes or so. The suggestion here is to do it twice a day for 20 minutes. I actually do it once a day for about 40 minutes, but it doesn't matter, just meditate. Love your body and look after it is the second step in transmutation. Everything you put in your body has a huge impact on how you feel. So make sure you give yourself the best possible care in terms of food, water, oxygen, sunshine, sex, and rest. Okay, and this is what this says. Drink 8 glasses of plain water a day. Again, things that we talk about all the time in health and wellness. And everybody gives it the raspberry, right? And they don't really get it. That this is part of your soul growth with your personal growth too, okay? There's a German proverb that said, God gives us the nuts, but he does not crack them. Are you cracking your nuts? So make sure that you are taking care of everything that you need to for yourself, okay? Take regular breaks from your routine. Well, that means take a vacation sometimes. Don't be a workaholic. Yet, I can't begin to tell you what taking a little break from a routine does, whether it's just for a weekend or a day, and just take some time and forgive, love, and accept yourself just as you are. Nurture higher values. That's the hallmark of spirituality, is having higher values, honoring kindness and beauty. It just blows my mind that we can't get there. And be kind to each other. Holy moly. Harmonious relationships. If you're in a contentious relationship, try to create harmony within yourself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't set boundaries and recognize if someone has done something very inappropriate and stand up for yourself. But most of your core relationships with your friendships, with your family, with your loved ones need to be in harmony. Treat others as you would like to be treated. All religions, as we have talked about, have this code of conduct as behavioral outlines. Keep good company. Remember, you are the company that you keep. And so if you look at your group of friends and you see a lot of people who are down in the mouth, that's probably what you're feeling in your own vibration. And I'm not saying that we don't give our friends who are down some part of ourselves, because we all have some down times. I'm just talking about as a whole. Is your group happy? Are they joyful? Do they celebrate? Do they honor? Are they kind? Are they giving? Are they loving? Keep good company. Be willing to be misunderstood. You know that saying, what you feel about me is none of my business. As long as I feel good about me, that's where you need to be. Absolutely. Give yourself the gift of energy and use your energy wisely, because physical energy is so important. And so do things like clean up your home, repaint a few rooms, go to the gym, do yoga, dance, walk, be creative, paint, sing, sew, write, take on a new hobby, practice a new skill. I'm about to be 67 years old, although today is my baby sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. And my friend Jackie's birthday. Happy birthday, Jackie. But I'm about to be 67 years old. I think I'm 17. I have that kind of energy. I hope you do too. Take on energy and make it be a bountiful connection to yourself. If you feel stuck, engage in some energy work, go to a counselor, figure it out, write, journal, pray, go to your clergyman, let go and let God, move into resistance and surrender, meaning that what is, I hate that term, that it is what it is, but that's the truth of it. It is what it is when it is, so you have to accept that, surrender to it, and find a way to wrap your head around it and make lemonade out of lemons and tap into your inner knowing and inner guidance, okay? And then, of course, again, things that I say to you all the time. Be grateful, because energy flows in gratitude, and you have to live as if everything is a miracle. And make sure that you're having a great time in the here and in the now. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. And so transmutation, alchemize your spirit. Those are the ways to do it. And I hope that you will choose that for yourself. And I hope that you'll join me in September for a Life After Life demonstration. Have a great day.